Mixed Rock presents 10 most unbelievable assassinations of all time. Number 1. The power of French engineering saved the lives of French President Charles de Gaulle and his chauffeur. They were under attack by an assassination force. The attackers fired 140 bullets at their Citroen DS, managing to kill 2 of the president's bodyguards and blowing out all 4 tires. The president managed to avoid the bullets by ducking down, and they managed to escape a devastating front-wheel skid by accelerating out of it. Number 2. A man named Lewis Powell attempted to kill William Seward by coming to his house, pretending to bring medicine for the injured man, and then killing him. His plan was thwarted by just about every person in the house at the time. He beat Seward's son over the head and stabbed several people in the process. His attempt failed, and he was apprehended the next day and hanged because of it. Number 3. This is a rather famous case, where the German resistance rigged a briefcase with a bomb and planted it next to Hitler himself during a meeting. Innocently, it was moved away from Hitler by Hans Brandt, a general. This redirected the blast, killing Brandt and 3 others, excluding Hitler. Number 4. A man named Giuseppe Zangara attempted to assassinate Franklin Delano Roosevelt while he was giving a speech in Miami. He fired 1 shot and missed, and then a swarm of people around him started going after him. He fired off 4 more shots. All 5 shots hit people, but none of them hit FDR himself. Number 5. Fidel Castro is on this list, not for one specific instance, since that would be very difficult to do. Instead, all we're going to do is point out that he's had 638 assassination attempts on his life, and he is still alive. Number 6. A group of Mossad agents were trying in their assassination attempt to inject a modified toxin into Khalid Masal's ear. Someone noticed what was happening and apprehended the attack. Once confined, the attackers were forced to give up an antidote and were persuaded by none other than Bill Clinton. Number 7. We've all heard stories of kids being inspired by violent TV shows and movies to do stupid things, but rarely do we see adults doing the same. However, a man named John Hinckley Jr. was inspired by the movie Taxi Driver. The president at the time, Ronald Reagan, was the victim, along with several others. Hinckley approached Reagan outside of the Hilton Hotel in Washington, D.C., and fired 6 shots towards him. While none of the shots hit Reagan directly, it did manage to hit other people around him. Number 8. One would imagine that firing 2 separate guns and having them both misfire would be near impossible. However, Richard Lawrence is one of those most impossible cases. When he attempted to end the life of the then President Andrew Jackson, he shot at him with 1 pistol, which misfired. Prepared for the possibility, Lawrence came prepared with 2 pistols and fired the second one, only to have that one do the same. Once Jackson noticed, he did the appropriate thing and beat the man with his cane, like a true gentleman. Number 9. At the time of his speech, Teddy Roosevelt was shot in the chest. However, he did have a 50-page speech and a case of reading glasses in his breast pocket, which helped shield the bullet, a little bit. It lodged itself in his chest. Instead of cancelling the speech and getting treatment, Roosevelt continued on to read the 90-minute speech and forwarded it with, "Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether you fully understand that I have just been shot, but it takes more than that to kill a bull moose." Number 10. This story begins on a cold, snowy night in January 1757. A man who goes by Damiens approached King Louis XV, managing to slip by the guards and stab the king with a small penknife. Naturally, a king of his stature can afford anything and everything, and can be seen to wear many thick clothing layers on cold days. The knife seemed to do nothing but give the king a light scratch. No blade is going to do any serious damage. Thank you for watching. For more, please hit subscribe.